Understand that I went to the Cleveland Public Schools, and my entire time from Miles Standing to Glenville, I never met a teacher, a guidance counselor, a principal, assistant principal, or a custodian who told me I couldn't do what I wanted to do, that I couldn't choose and prevail in my chosen field. So when everybody around you says you can fly, you believe you can fly. And when everybody around you tells you you will never fly, because, you know, your daddy has a high school education, your mama cleans rooms at the window, then by and large, you're going to think you can't fly. So yes, give young people computers. Yes, do all the other whiz-bang modern 21st century things they're doing in the area of education. But we have got to ensure that our young people believe that they can fly, can believe in themselves. And I believe that's half the battle. And then I think the second part is to not accept 71% high school graduation. That the bar ought to be not just high school graduation, but how many of that 71 or 85, whatever the number is, how many of them are going to college? Because that's what they're going to need, or how many are getting a skill. I'm not of the ilk that the world's going to be saved by every young person walking around with a degree. But you have to be able to do something that is economically desired by the population.
I'm right here with the Leadership Series speaker right here, Mr. Mayor Michael R. White, former mayor of Cleveland right here. How you doing, sir?
Fine. How are you today?
I'm fantastic. I really appreciate you coming and dropping some good words on us. Can you give us a little inspiration in Glenville? We're going through a little tough time with the youth violence right now. Can you speak to that right now?
Well, I'm not going to say that I know everything that is going on in the lives of youth today. They're dealing in a different generation, a different set of circumstances. But I do know this. A lot of what they're dealing with is a feeling that they're all by themselves and they've got to fight through this world by themselves and that nobody believes in them. And I think part of what we can do to help our youth is to let them know every single day they can be whatever they want to be if they will work hard at it, and we will stand with you. And I think it's enough. It's also important for adults to try to walk in the shoes of young people in the community and to understand what they're facing. We as adults sometimes always want to look at it from our point of view. But what's the point of view of a youth? Is it lack of education? Is it lack of recreation? Is it lack of quality individuals they can look up to? And how do we as adults fix that? We owe them. They don't owe us.
So, because we're talking about leaders, it's probably appropriate to talk about leadership at the national level. So, everyone from the media to the barbershop has a lot to say about our current president. The focus lately has been on his lack of regard or respect for racial and ethnic diversity. What do you believe is the impact that the Trump administration has on race relations in America?
I actually saw the question, so I was not unaware the question was coming. And one of the things that I thought about as I drove from our farm today was that I wanted to try to respond in a way that is not CNN or MSNBC. We all know what it is, but what we think we know is only a part of it. It is only what is above the surface. Most people who watch what's going on become so absorbed on what's on the surface that they really don't understand the things that are going on under the surface that are much harder than you could ever imagine. For instance, we don't see ICE, who's enforcing these horrible immigration policies. We don't see the fact that they're getting ready to contract with a company for a nationwide license plate database. Saying they're doing that for our safety, but they're going to be able to track any license plate in the entire United States of America. And they're saying they're doing that for our safety. We don't see the fact that there hasn't been one engagement by the Justice Department in a police shooting, whether it's police on African Americans, police on anybody, since Trump took over. We don't see the rollbacks that are occurring. And the result of it is we are going to be sniffing dirtier air, we're going to be drinking dirtier water, and it's going to cause all kinds of secondary issues. And I could go right down the list. My point is that for all of the bad that we see, the real insidious nature of the Trump administration are the policy rollbacks that are taking place out of the glare of Congress, out of the glare of the media, and they're not going to tell you about it because they don't care, because they're just trying to get through a 24-hour music cycle. That's number one. Number two, anybody who believes that there isn't a 21st century kind of lynching going on, they really need to go check themselves pretty closely, because that's what's going on. And this time, instead of just lynching black people, they're lynching Hispanics, they're lynching Arabs, and they're lynching anybody that doesn't look like them. And that is what's going on, and we have to recognize it, and we have to be willing to fight it at all levels, whether that's political, whether that's economic, no matter what it takes, we have to fight that every day, 24 hours a day. And I think the last point I would want to make is this. You know, Trump just didn't fly down from some planet, pop out of an egg. The reality of it is, even though he didn't win the popular vote, he was enabled by millions and millions of people who think just like him. Right. Who think just like him, and a lot of them think even worse. And so you have to ask yourself that if you're not Caucasian living in America, and if you're not rich living in America, what does it mean to you? I think it means, at least to me, that there is a clarion call to all of us who are able to redouble, rekindle, retriple, quadruple our efforts in making this a sane, fair society to everybody, regardless of race, creed, color, or national origin.